What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Let's get right into it. It's not very long, and it is How to Make Your Ex Miss You by Brad Browning. I have literally had like 5 people since I've been doing reaction videos, which is not long. I've had like 5 or 6 people reach out to me and say, yo, you should react to. By the way, if you want me to react to something specific, go to the description box of my videos and you'll see my email in there. In case you don't want to look, it's masculineenergy27@gmail.com. You can send me a just subject line reaction request and then put in the link. Okay. If you put in the link, it'll make it 20 times easier for me to pull it up because I just have my email right on my computer here. Anyway, let's get to it.
Hi, this is Brad Browning, author of the X Factor Guide.
So, first things first, this came out in March 2014. So, he's been out for quite some time. Forgive the noise, by the way. Ambulances and shit going by.
And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to make your ex miss you. Now, if you want to get back together with your ex, you're going to need them to miss you. That's a simple fact of life.
Okay. And before I continue, I'm remembering things as I'm going on. That's true. But I've heard a lot of bad things about this guy. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because people have done his coaching. Nobody really talks about why. It could be his popularity because he has almost, he's got over 500,000 subscribers. So I don't know what it is. I haven't watched him myself. This is my education on this guy. So as long as his information is valid and good and helps you, then I'm going to be cool with it. So but a lot of people have an issue with him. I don't know what it is. Him and Dan Bacon. I know why Dan Bacon. I'm not going to go into this video, but yeah.
If you want to get them back, your ex must miss you. So how do you make them miss you? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. The first thing you need to understand is that you can't convince your ex to get back together with you. Just no amount of words, begging, pleading, or trying to convince them is going to make that happen. They need to organically and naturally want to get back together with you.
Yep. That's true. That's 100% true. Guys will beg and plead and try to use logic and reason as to why people should get back together, why we should get back together. Oh, we've been together for 5 years or 6 years, so we should give this another chance. And then I'll dig into people's stories during coaching and I'm like, oh man, you had plenty of chances. She's been telling you for the past year or 6 months that you're fucking up in this area, but without telling you. Right. And men are so simple. Sometimes they just can't pick up on those small things, subtle things, which is why you need to educate yourself and read and learn. But you also, from the woman, I think women don't understand men as much as we hoped they would, and just understand that we are extremely simple creatures. And we just need to treat us like dogs, not in a derogatory way or a condescending way. That's what I meant. More, this is what I want you to be doing. This is where you're screwing up. And sometimes women can't really convey that message to you because they just don't really know. They're like, I'm turned off by you, and they won't even know exactly why. It'll just be a compilation of things. So look, there's a lot of variables to this whole thing, which is the point. But so far, so good.
And if they miss you, then that's going to stimulate those feelings of wanting to get back together with you because they miss you. And the way to stifle that pain of missing you is to get back together. So how do you make them miss you? Well, the first thing you need to understand is that your breakup ended because the attraction faded between you and your ex. It was there initially when your relationship was going really well. And then over a period of time, whether it was a month or a year, the attraction faded.
Chris Camwell talked about this in one of the latest videos that I covered, and it was love follows attraction. So there's women will always say to you when they're losing attraction to you that maybe we should stay friends, or I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That's when you hear that kind of shit. And that's when that love fades. It's because they might love you as a person, but they're not in love with you anymore. And that's what he means. Not that you needed clarity, but that's another way of saying this. Attraction's faded, and it's true. That's another good point.
And it faded to the point where your ex decided they no longer wanted to be with you. So how do you rebuild that attraction? Well, again, make them miss you. Now, let's think about just more broadly what makes you miss someone or something. Well, it's when you become used to having something or someone in your life. You become comfortable with them. It becomes part of your daily routine. They become integrated into your life, just like your ex was. You were there for them. You called them every day. Maybe they woke up beside you every day. Maybe you saw them every night after work. Whatever it was, they were a major part of your life, and you were a major part of their life. So, in order to make them miss you, what do you have to do? Well, you have to disappear, completely vanish off their radar.
So that's true. And a lot of guys will play boyfriend, right? A lot of guys will sit here and go, okay, yeah, I'm going to still do all of this work. I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to do that. Now, if you have kids, that's different. You still need to be a good parent, which means you're still going to go over there and do parental things. But between you and her, you're not doing her any extra favors because you want her back. Okay. That's something you guys have to understand.
That's the very best way to make someone miss you. They were comfortable having you around. They were so used to it. It was part of their life. And then all of a sudden, boom, cold turkey, you're gone. And that's really going to stimulate those feelings of missing you. And that's something you absolutely need if you want to get them back. It has to be natural, and making them miss you is the most natural way of doing that.
Adding to that is the fading effect bias, right? And if you've done anything wrong, and you know, it depends on how like severe it was. If it was like actual like abuse and shit like that, then you know it's different. But even still, women will come back to guys who abuse them, you know. But that's a whole self-esteem issue. That's a whole other video. But if you've just lost, if she's just lost attraction for you, right? Her losing attraction for you usually happens because of complacency, insecurity, a couple other things. And usually it's just a compilation, not I don't know why I keep saying compilation, but it is really, I guess it's the same thing. But over time, the same issue has come up and the same emotion has come up. And now, if you think about emotions, emotions are like amplifiers. So let's say that's the whole take out the garbage thing, right? And you don't do it. She's going to think, man, he's lazy. He doesn't do what he says. But the emotion will amplify it like way more. So it'll really make her feel shitty about you. She'll look at you and be like, man, he doesn't do what he says he's going to do. He's not a man of his word. So thoughts and feelings are connected. Now, for men, it's a little different. We're more in our head than here, depending on what it is, generally speaking. But for a woman, whenever she gets a thought into her head, if that emotion is there from the consistent fucking up, right? Oh, then she'll start saying, "Oh, you're not the man that," or she'll start feeling, sorry, "You're not the man that I thought you were. You're not as strong as I thought you were." But it's not. She's not gonna tell you this. This is gonna be stuff that happens over time. And what her way of telling you, again, this is why you have to watch actions, is by backing away, less sex, withholding sex, which is not good. I mean, communicating is important, but why would a woman want to fuck you if she's not, if she's like, man, this guy's not, if she's not feeling attracted to you? So usually what guys will do in my coaching, when they join my coaching program, which is on the screen, you will get positive dates, positive interactions over and over and over again, and then she'll want to do things with you. But an ex, yeah, it's important that you, a lot of guys will go, let's pick up where we left off. Can we just pick up where we left off, please? And it's like, no, like that's not how it works. That's not how females work. Okay. You have to build them back up and raise attraction again. Just like as it fell, you have to raise it again. And it doesn't take long. It can take just a few weeks, several weeks. Okay. If she's willing to see you and she's not putting like, and the thing is about exes is they'll put roadblocks, they'll put things in your face. And that's why sometimes it doesn't seem worth it, fellas, because they're putting so much fucking resistance up, right? And you're like, like, but that's because of the way that they're. So again, there has to be a good back and forth, and we talk a lot about that in the coaching program.
So, how do you disappear completely in a very practical way? I mean, of course, you can't just magically poof be gone from their life. It's always more complicated than that.
Especially if you have
But this
kids.
is where the 30-day no contact rule comes in. Maybe you've heard
Oh, so is this where people are disagreeing with him? Okay.
about this before on the internet. You've read about it. Essentially, what the no contact rule is it basically means for the 30 days after your breakup, the first 30 days after your breakup, you don't talk to your ex at all. Now, of course, there's a few complications with that, and the very rare case where it may not be appropriate. But generally speaking, the 30-day no contact rule is something you're going to want to do after the breakup in order to get your ex to start missing you. Now, the science says, there is some science behind this, believe me, I'm not just making all this up. The science says that generally speaking, after a breakup, and of course it depends somewhat on the duration of your relationship and how bad the breakup was and how serious the relationship was, but generally speaking, the peak of those feelings of missing your ex occur around 3 weeks after the initial breakup.
Now, with my experience talking to, so I have 2 points to make. First, about the 30-day no contact rule, and then the 3-week period. So the 3-week period thing is from my experience coaching guys and being in the situation, you can't, there's no quantifiable number, right? Sometimes the relief stage after a breakup happens is what is longer than 3 weeks. Sometimes it's 6. That's why saying 30-day no contact rule is stupid, because don't look, okay, let's just say it like this to make it fucking simple for everybody. There is no 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, 120 days. Okay. You just do no contact, and the person that broke up with you should be working for you. And then when they reach out to you, you try to set 2 dates maximum. This is what Corey Wayne has taught me as well. So the 2 date, and it works. I've tested it on my students as well. 2 dates maximum. And when you do, so say they reach out to you, you're like, hey, like, let's catch up. Let's see each other. You say something like that. And then sometimes they'll flake on you, or again, put up roadblocks, like I said. So you say, okay, and you try it one more time down the road. Let them reach out to you. And if they flake on you again, you never offer again. This is sales 101, guys. This is exactly why that's where this comes from. Okay, it's the takeaway. And really what you're doing is you're acting like you don't need your ex anymore. And you don't. The truth is you don't. So to get the 30-day thing out of the way, there is no 30 days. You just do no contact. Okay. And during this time, you work on yourself. Okay. So far, that's the only thing I disagree with. And the 3-week thing, it's true and it's not true. It depends on the person, which is, again, to make it simple, don't even think about any of that. All you have to do is focus on yourself during this no contact phase. Don't jump into a new relationship until you're healed. Okay. Focus on you and your own energy. And the first 4 weeks to 8 weeks of a breakup are fucking difficult and hard. You're constantly going to be thinking about her and or him if you're a lady watching. So get the 30-day shit out of your head, because that creates hope that after these 30 days you can reach out or things will be okay. And then you're stuck back at square one again, because now the expectation that you had is not the same. So it's important that this video is being covered, because that is the first mistake that I see a lot of people coming to me for. So maybe this is what people are butthurt about with this guy.
That's assuming you're doing this no contact. Occur around 3 weeks after the initial breakup. That's assuming you're doing this no contact method, of course. If you're not doing that, then they won't have the chance to develop those feelings of missing you. But if you are employing the no contact strategy for 30 days, then around 3 weeks is the peak of those feelings. Your ex is going to be missing you like crazy. They haven't heard from you or talked to you in 3 weeks. And even if things were a little rocky at the end of your relationship, trust me, they're still going to be missing you and having you around in their life. Now, there's another element of this whole making your ex miss you and no contact thing that you also need to understand. And that's that making your ex miss you, at the same time, it also helps to make your ex let go of some of the negative memories.
That's a fading effect bias
that they have of you and your relationship. Over time, as they begin to miss you more and more, and as they approach that 3-week peak of missing you, they'll start to let go of some of the negative memories, and they'll start to forget.
And remember what I said about emotions being amplifiers. So as time goes by, right, the emotion, the dial will come down. So those thoughts just fade off. It's the emotion that we have behind thoughts that make them feel the way, make you think so difficult. So think about your breakup right now, right? You guys that are going through it. If the emotion wasn't there, you wouldn't care. You wouldn't be thinking about any, you would, if you thought about it. Like, for example, I can think about all of my exes, but because that emotion's not there, right, I don't feel anything. Well, whatever, they're all bitches anyway. Right? That's not true, but you know what I mean. It's just me fucking around. But like, we don't talk anymore and it doesn't bother me, right? And that's the thing. Right now, inside, you care a lot about losing that person, and you're fearful that you won't find another person. Again, that's why Sedona method is so important, and letting go is so important, and working on yourself is so important. Because when you do this again, inevitably you're going to be getting into another relationship. I don't want you guys to have to get back to this feeling that you have here. So as time goes by, that emotional dial will come down for you and for her. And as you go through that, you will be getting, you should be reading, you should be focused, you should be in the gym. You'll be losing weight because of your breakup, most likely anyway. Yeah, that stress weight comes off. But let me just rewind here.
Peak of missing you, they'll start to let go of some of the negative memories, and they'll start to forget, even if it's on a subconscious conscious level, why they decided to break up with you in the first place. And in addition to dropping some of the negative memories and forgetting some of the reasons why they wanted to break up, they'll also hold on to, or some of the nostalgic happy memories, they'll hold on to them. They'll come back to the surface during that time when they're missing you like crazy. They'll be thinking and focusing on the positive aspects.
And that happens a lot too, because when you meet up with your ex, right? When you meet up with your ex, the things that you guys will talk about are those memories a lot of the times. So that's pretty true.
And that's great, of course, if you want to get them back, because they're forgetting the bad parts of your relationship and they're remembering the good parts. So that's another advantage of making your ex miss you, is that those feelings will be even stronger. And if you can make them miss you so badly that it's just killing them inside and they really need to stifle that pain and that heartache, then maybe they'll get back together with you. And that certainly does happen sometimes. If you were so close and then you break up and you apply the 30-day no contact rule, they miss you so much that in order to just stifle that pain, they decide, well, let's get back together and that'll solve all my problems. I won't miss him anymore or her anymore. So that's pretty much how to make your ex miss you in a nutshell. Obviously, there's way more to it.
Okay, so we're ending the video, so I don't need to go forward. So there is one thing, fellas, that I want you guys to be aware of, and this is important. Too many of you guys are hopeful and not caring about her actions. So if your ex, if you know 100% with certainty that she is getting fucked by somebody else, I'm trying to remain YouTube friendly as much as I can. They've never really given me a problem, though, to be quite honest with you. But as I get more views, you never know what they'll try to drop. So look, that woman there's a high chance that because of the way it dates. So this is 2014. Okay. Dating has changed completely with social media. And it's almost better for you guys to assume, it is better for you guys to assume that that everything's over, and just let her really, really work for you, because it is not that she is going to have a lot of access to men. Okay. There's going to be a lot of people reaching out to her if she's heavy on social media. Dating apps back then did exist. Okay. But they're way more popular than they ever have been. And dating apps are awful. But anyway, that's another video. So yeah, so everything in this video when it comes to no contact, it just means let go and start focusing on your own life and let that girl work for you if she wants to come back. It's that simple. Okay? Because look, if she's out there, being a hoe, and if she's out there you don't want to take that girl back. Okay? Now, you can never prove it if she's quiet, right? If she's a quiet girl, meaning like she doesn't have social media. I know tons of girls that don't have social media. Not tons, but some, right? But they're a little older, they're my age. I'm 32, so they're my age, right? So, young girls, right? Because I've been out of the dating game, in terms of like seeing girls for quite some time. But what I'm observing is most young girls have social media. Most young girls are going to have that kind of exposure to the internet. So instead of hoping and waiting, which this 30-day no contact bullshit is going to do, just focus on your life and focus on moving on. And if that girl calls you or texts you or whatever, make sure that you're not giving false hope to yourself and going, oh my God, she's messaging me now. Holy shit. And then you just go from there. Don't do that, fellas. Okay. Focus on your goals. Okay. Start a business, start a side hustle, start something, focus on your money. Seriously. Like if anything, as a man, society is not is not sitting here going, hey, let's set this shit up for men today. Let's do this for men. Society is right now is going like, and when it comes to the court systems, for example, or anything like that, they're biased towards women. Okay. As a man, you have control over your time, which means that you can create side hustles. You can do things that will get you money. Okay. So focus on doing that. And once you have a couple of side hustles that are, helping out with your finances, start working on your image, start working on, of course, doing all this, you read, but start, obviously getting in shape, maybe move into a better place. Again, all of the focus should come right back here and not out there. Okay. The Aaron Doughty video I covered, he talked about that. He's like, your energy is going this way and it should be coming this way. So I get why people wanted me to cover this because I'm a proponent. I love no contact, the idea of letting go and not chasing. But the 30-day thing, I can see why. Okay. I don't, and I'm not knocking him. He's probably just regurgitating something that he read somewhere, and or maybe something he applied, because he's saying 3 weeks, right? So 3 weeks is the framework he's operating off of. And again, I haven't watched all of his videos, but that's just the only issue but that can fuck up a whole thing. So, but he didn't tell you to reach out either, but he's telling you that this is what you can expect. For me personally, don't expect anything. Have no hope, no expectations. Just work on your shit and focus as a man. Done.